Turning point for strained TSA workers. After weeks of long security lines like the ones we saw at BWI this weekend, agents are expected to receive their first paycheck. But with the gridlock on Capitol Hill continuing, will it be enough to make an impact?
Jess Arnold is live at Reagan National this morning with what this means for travelers and really what comes next. Jess.
Yeah, well, TSA workers have now missed 2.5 paychecks as this becomes the largest government shutdown in history, surpassing the most recent one that had started last fall. Now, President Trump signed an executive order on Friday that would allow the government to pay these TSA workers, but that doesn't mean that they're immediately going to have some money in their pockets. One TSA agent told CBS News that they hadn't received their paycheck, those missed paychecks, for months after that shutdown had ended. So it could be a long haul here of having to float themselves without these paychecks coming in. And the House and Senate can't seem to reach a funding deal. The Senate has left for a 2-week recess as well now. The upper chamber passed a compromise Friday that funded most of the Department of Homeland Security minus ICE and border protection. The House rejected that and passed their own short-term deal that funded every agency in the department. Democratic senators say the lower chamber's resolution is dead on arrival because they refuse to fund all of DHS without immigration enforcement reforms. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen spoke on this yesterday, as did the president.
We are not prepared to give ICE another $10 billion on top of the monies they already have and are using in many of these lawless operations.
I think the Senate is playing it too soft. The Republicans are wonderful people, but we're dealing with very sick individuals. The Democrats are sick. There's something wrong. They're like terrorists.
Now, the leader of the TSA workers union has slammed Congress for not working faster to pass this deal, slammed the Senate for taking off for their 2-week recess without finalizing a deal, and said you need to uphold your oath and come back. Now, we have seen those videos of these lines across the country. We showed you a long line here at Reagan National just about an hour ago. Those could continue as we wait to see when these workers' paychecks come in. You can see, at least here at DCA, thankfully that line has decreased markedly since we last showed you. Again, an hour ago, this seems to be about normal with what we see around this time. But in terms of TSA workers calling out or leaving the job entirely, the last numbers that we had are 2,800 workers, which is about 10% of all of TSA agents across the country ended up calling out on Saturday, according to numbers that CNN obtained from DHS. So we're not sure exactly when we could start to see some of these lines die down across the country, guys. We'll have to see.
You really feel for our neighbors not receiving paychecks. I'm looking at information from TSA that says the average TSA salary is $46,000 to $55,000, and you can imagine the pain that this is causing people, especially with the first of the month coming up on Wednesday. Just certainly appreciate a look at the lines as well this morning. We'll check back in with you soon.